Hello and welcome to this round 2 clash between the Knights and the Sharks at Carrington Park. I'm your host, Anthony MacDonald, and joining me tonight is Luke Shaw. Good afternoon, Luke.
Yeah, good day. Hey, Mark. We've got a good game on our hands today. We've got the Knights that won in round 1 against the Roosters in a close game. That you got them to win by 2 points. John Nenai doing a real good number on the board with his 55-minute stint, just short of 200 running metres. While a lot of the Knights are getting well over 100 metres, an absolute Super Saiyan performance from Goku with his career double, versus the Sharks that beat the Raiders, scoring a massive 40 points. Big efforts from Malchus and MBT, both racking up 200 metres, and Drew Matthews being a solid number 9 with 3 try assists. I think we are in for an absolute cracker of a game that could come down to the wire. I've gone Knights 1-8.
Yeah, I've gone. I think I went Knights 9-18. But looking at these two lineups, there's not going to be a lot between them by the end of this. I think, as the Knights kick off. And NBT passes it on to Barisic to take the first hit up. Cow follows through. Now, with these two coming off strong wins from last week short, what do you think is going to be the difference between the win and the dud?
Oh, it's going to be the battle in the middle. Obviously, you got Big Boy Malchus and Big Boy Nenai both having outstanding performances last week. So they'll be ready to lay the platform for their teams here.
And there's Delaney's chosen to take an early punt and booted it halfway out of the park to roll dead. So a beautiful kick from Delaney if it had just pulled up 5 metres shorter.
Yeah, if that felt just pulled up, it would have been a perfect kick, but this gives them a 7 tackle set.
And then I goes on to Butterfield, goes on to Ponkston, and off he goes early. Now, Ponkston had a massive game last week, picking up quite a few tries. Let's see if he can keep that going this week as we go to Vaughan, to Christie to take it over the halfway mark. Christie plays it, and Sadler does a little dash out. Half a Jamison's shuffle there.
He did take that step back on the inside before he stepped out.
Yeah, no, this is a great next run from the Knights. Here is Goku Simpson, another standout performer from last week as we get the 5th. Passes it to Butterfield, passes it to Vaughan, and a lovely little boot out the back. Taken comfortably by NBT.
Yeah, and that was a good set from him. Having a 7 tackle set. Got into a good position to put on an attacking kick.
Yeah, and both teams have been playing with a fair bit of attacking power so far. So if this is what the first couple of sets are like, we're going to have a wonderful game tonight. As we pass to Delaney, and Usher takes it down the sideline to cross into the 30. Ua comes through, makes it over the 50, just in time for the 5th tackle options. We'll see if Vaughan or Delaney takes this one. Delaney, another massive kick over the wings. Nofa and Gowie having to rush it deep out of his 10. And Sharks just pummeling him and keeping him buried deep in the half.
Yeah, it was a better kick from Delaney. I think you may have got your halves mixed up. Vaughan's a Knights half.
Oh. Sorry, I was reading down a list that we were looking at earlier today. Everyone is really hotly contested on the halves game today. We all want our 7s to score, and we're looking at Vaughan and we're looking at Delaney to be the people to get our Muzz bets over today, I think.
As that is a beautiful kick from Butterfield.
Oh, MBT almost got around him, sidestepped one, but just held on. Matthews to Malchus, and Malchus barrels through, carries over the 20.
That's what I was talking about with Malchus. If he can get you one-on-one, he's going to go straight through you.
On the 10th for their 3rd, Matthews to Usher. Tyre. Pushing forward, almost there. Malchus Oh, can he hold up? And he's down. Malchus straight under the dot.
Yeah, they're going to check this, but I feel like there's going to be a try. And another one of those Muzz bets talking about hookers try assist, and that one comes from Drew Matthews.
That was a lovely set from the Sharks there. And as you were saying, Short, Malchus is one of the big danger men for the Sharks. So he's over, and the Sunny Tie will be quite happy, I do think.
So far this season, we've been really having a good, solid, dangerous stints from props and forwards. As we just see, Malchus score the first points in this game.
Yeah, we had a double from Freaky McKay the other night. We also had a double from... Ooh. Oh, their name escapes me at the moment, but it looks like we've got Big Boy Season coming back again for Season 8. So good to see some of those really big, heavy props muscling their way over for a couple of doubles here and there. As Vaughan kicks off again, down deep into the Sharks' half. And Barisic comes up with another return. Matthews to Malchus. Malchus carrying through. That boy is a terror.
Yeah, I get another good run from Malchus. Straight down the middle.
There's Wakabayashi coming across into the 40th for the third. Nice quick play the ball to Tyre to Barisic. Muscling over into the 50. Malchus again, Kasakau. What do you think about that sets after points there, Short?
It's a good set. They've got to their points. That's the biggest thing you need to do with set after points. The kick wasn't the best. It didn't get a lot of depth on it, and it went straight to Rashford. So Rashford's run it back to the 30 here. It goes to Vaughan. Vaughan makes a line break. He's gone. It's only got MBT to break. He goes to try and step on the inside, but MBT will bring him down. But that's a good run from Vaughan.
We were expecting Rashford to come back that. You don't expect the half to make a line break like that. So that's worrying signs here for the Sharks early on as Butterfield plays the ball. Sadler passes it to Vaughan and Anderson. Another strong starter for the Knights this season.
I think Vaughan got flat-footed there.
Yeah, muscled back over the 10, and he'll be kept out of the kick for this one. Butterfield takes it, puts it high, but NBT is there, and he takes it without really any challenge.
Yeah, the kick chasers got it wrong there. They weren't ready for that kick to be on that line.
No, and now they've got to deal with a 7-tackle set against the Sharks, who seem to be on fire so far tonight. As we got NBT crossing the 40, and that's only the first just there. Delaney back inside to Malchus again.
Another run from Malchus. As we see Tua take tackle, he drives past the 35.
Matthews on to Barisic, on to Kasakau, and Kasakau's through the line, and he tries to step around Ponkston, but Ponkston's got a bit too much speed for the second rower there, as Matthews does a Jefferson shuffle, and almost gets across, and that's the 5th there. Here we go, out to Tyre, Grubber in for Tu'ua, but he dived a bit too soon there. Is that worrying signs for the Knights there, or is the Knights' defence really what's saving them here for a moment, Luke?
Yeah, the good defence there. Ponkston having to make that tackle and then getting caught offside where Matthews almost gets in. They've scrambled well to stop that. Then the kick from Tyre. Tua just diving that too early to get that ball. But yeah, the fact that they got up to that point, even though it was a 7-tackle set, could be interesting signs towards what's to come from the Sharks.
And that was a risky pass across the field to Butterfield, but Butterfield takes it cleanly, and we've got just outside the 40th for their 5th and final tackle before Diab kicks it downfield. And Crimp returns it and is tackled neatly just before they hit the 40. It seems we've got into that arm wrestle now, Luke. We're not, as we say it, Tu'ua screams up the field, just to be picked up by Malchus again.
Yeah, the Sharks are definitely making the meters easily here. The Knights just holding on. I feel they need to start getting some counter attack going.
Both of their matches at the last round were both high scoring affairs, so I think and then we've got a held and tackle 20 meters out. That is a coach killer right there, as Delaney's putting it over the sideline.
And that's just the reward for the Sharks. They've been running these Knights ragged, and the fatigue is set in there.
So if you're Dom Ponkston right now, what are you telling your team as you're defending a 6 tackle set on your line?
Just got to muscle up in defence here. They've got to make their 2-man tackles. They can't be getting driven any further. Try and push them back if they can, as they just turn them on their back there, Delaney. So good start so far.
That was an excellent defensive read there from the Knights. As we come back to Matthews on the inside to Tyre, hit off the ball. Oh, to Ua, safe hands there.
It was good to get on that loose ball.
Normally you see the Knights pick that up and off they go. As we see Barisic playing it for the last. Delaney with a short grubber, picked up by Joey June, and off they go. That was a real pressure cooker right there. What do you think of that, Luke?
That was a good read from June, and to step around one and try and get some meters. It was a bit scary to see it that close to the sideline. We didn't not sure if they would have been barreled over, but they managed to stay in the field of play.
Now with the Knights playing it on the 30th for the third, they look like they're coming strongly out of trouble with a good run there by Richards as he plays it for the 4th there, just short of the 50-meter line. June to Butterfield for a nice little one inside to Diab, playing it just short of the 50 again.
Not a bad set to get them out of trouble. This kick will help, but they'll need to make sure their defence is on point. They need to get up here and take, and that obviously doesn't help with Crimp stepping one and driving past it to the 40.
No, Crimp is dangerous with those kick returns, and now NBT with a lovely offload to Werman. The Sharks have got their subs on the field. We'll see if they make the difference in this little arm wrestle here. There goes Farah, playing it for the 3rd. Malchus, every time that man holds the ball, Malchus, he looks like he's going to make a line break. So I would not be liking to be trying to tackle that man as we hit the 5th. Over to Tyre again. Oh,
they forced a knock on there, so the Knights will get away with one here. As we said, the Knights Knights bench players are on with Shackelford and my name's eluding me, sorry. Ben Dishwasher.
Ben Dishwasher, another lovely named Newcastle Knight, as we've got Ponkston over the 40th for the 3rd. No, it looks like so far the Knights are the defensive masters, but the Sharks, everything that the Knights are trying to keep out, the Sharks are just tearing through right now. As we have Nofalengawi taking it over the 40 for their 5th. Probably only going to be able to do a punt kick over here with the Knights. And MBT takes that safely.
The kick chase is there to wrap him up though, so that's good so far defence from him. As we see Matthews make a good run from dummy half.
Usher to Delaney, Werman working his way over the 50. Plays it for the 3rd right there, smack dab in the middle. Delaney back on the inside to NBT, and NBT's through.
But Ponkston's there to meet him.
Wrapping him up. Again through to Kasikow. Kasikow muscled back on the 30th and playing it for the last. Aya with a nice little kick over to Rashford, but Rashford takes it calmly and then stops, checks his watch and is tackled. 25 minutes in, Luke. Were we expecting a bit more, or is this how the rest of the game's going to go?
Considering how both the teams were in round one, I'm actually was sort of expecting something like this. The Sharks are definitely looking like they've got more of a chance of scoring at the moment. The Knights are only sort of hanging in here at the moment. I don't know if they can get something going or if they need half time.
As we get over the 50th on the 50, and we'll see if the Knights can do another good kick return. Defensive pressure against the Sharks. And we have Crimp coming back and muscled. He's kept within his 10, so another excellent defensive effort there from the Knights.
Yeah, but then again, Malchus grabs it and runs and bloody grabs another 5 meters in post contact.
Yeah, the fact that, and as I'm about to say how good they are in defense, the Sharks break through again. As much as we're loving the Knights' defense, those Sharks are just here for a feeding frenzy tonight. As we have Delaney being taken into 45 meters. We'll see if there's a 40-20, but no, they take it to run, and so they should have. Kausikau's just broken through, made 20 meters off next to nothing just then.
Yeah, these markers aren't working in the Knights. They need to get back on side and set a marker quicker. They're just taking their time. But good defense. They've stopped the kick there and handed it over at their 25.
Yep, and now the Knights need to capitalize on that as Anderson takes the first hit up. Sadler onto Vaughan, onto Richards, and Richards gets some good post-contact meters to bury it down on the 40th. Sadler onto Anderson, back on the inside for Ponkston, and that's what the Knights need as Ponkston gets around MBT but is held up. Richards making it into the 20s. We might actually see a really good attacking kick from the Knights.
Yeah,
at the end of this set.
Making a beautiful step there on MBT.
I think this is the first attacking kick the Knights have had in about 20 minutes.
And it's really
good. Puts it high.
And Ponkston's there. He's got that.
There he is, the magic man with the mohawk. Ponkston makes sure the Knights score their first of the night.
And that was started by Ponkston on that beautiful line and step on MBT.
Yeah, and that's just a nice little reward for all that defensive pressure that the Knights were putting on the Sharks. The Sharks looked like they were going to score next, but when Ponkston steps up and he goes, "No, it's my turn," it's not really much you can do just to keep him out.
No, you're not wrong. And Ponkston's definitely one of those players you can't keep out of the try zone.
10 minutes left in the half. Matthews about to kick off for the Sharks. What do the Sharks need to do to bring the momentum back into their favour?
I feel like the Sharks, they've done everything right so far. They can't really let that try ruin what they've already done. They've been playing their game. They just keep playing their game, and they'll go on to, still be part of this game. But I didn't say that.
They shouldn't be doing it. Oh, there we go. There's the commentator's curse hitting again. As first hit up, a penalty. Butterfield drills that deep into the Carrington Park spectators, taking a tap well inside the 30. Butterfield to Richards. Richards takes it up over the 40. And Dishwasher off the bench and over the 50 for the second. Junior to Butterfield. Butterfield to Diab. And Diab is met well, but pushes through for some post-contact meters. Sadler to Butterfield, back on the inside to Shackelford again, and Shackelford is through and over the 20.
A good run from Shackelford. This will get them into prime position for another attacking kick.
Yeah, these bench forwards for the Knights have made some real impact since coming on. As Sadler passes it to Butterfield with a nice little kick, but there was no real chasers there, so the Sharks come up with that fairly easily.
Yeah, there was no chasers on that kick.
Matthews plays it. Delaney takes it up and to Ua. Forward through. Play it on the 30. Matthews onto Delaney, onto NBT, and Crimp ballet dancing up the sideline, but only just makes it short of the 40. I think we'll see a nice 40-20 meter kick here. And Malchus, of all people, kicks it deep and kicks it. Oh, but Ponkston, the magician, has enough foresight to grab it, pirouette, and come on back. Didn't expect Malchus to have a boot like that on him.
No, it was. I was talking about how Malchus is the danger man for the Sharks, and if he was going to kick that 40-20, it just adds another reason why he's a danger man.
We were saying earlier that it's the forwards this season so far. They've been carrying teams forward, and Malchus has decided to put his hand up and, well, do what he needs to do to make sure the Sharks get over the line as Shackelford takes it deep into the 40 and get ready for a nice little punt kick. Taken cleanly by Hone King, and King steps around but can't get around Ponkston, being brought down on the 30th. Bobby Werman coming up through the middle. Couple of post contact meters, but not much else. Passed on to Delaney, and Delaney breaks through, and it's over the 40. Brought down. Ponkston didn't need to do much there, but he was there just in case as Matthews plays it to Usher, plays it to Crimp, and Crimp is smashed right there. Ua bringing it up. The Sharks should be in range for a good little attacking kick. Passing it back to Tyre, and high up in the air, but taken cleanly by Goku. 3 minutes left to go in the half short. Is there anything that either team needs to do?
Oh, they just need to complete their sets. Both teams are in a good position. They both got points on the board. So we're back to square one when it comes to the scoreboard. So complete their sets. I think the first team to make an error is probably going to be the one that's going to cough up some points.
And as you say that, Goku Simpson makes it to the 50th on the 4th. So probably not going to have enough to attack and kick. As I say it, Anderson makes his way through and then passes it straight to Tyre, who runs around Ponkston, and he's off. Is he going to make it? And look who's June coming across. And oh, look at that. Was that June coming across for that cover tackle?
No, that was not June. That was not Rashford. Who was the other?
Oh, was that Nanai? How was Nanai, a forward, able to chase that down?
And but as I was saying, the first team to make an error is probably going to cough up points, so we'll see what happens here. They almost gave it up to Ty just then.
If Delaney's tackled on the 5th, that means he's out of kicking contention. And they're not going to kick anyway. Just give it to Malchus, but he's wrapped up. So a real close call for the Knights there at the end, but they're just able to hold out as Nanai smashes him. And that's the halftime siren. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to the second half of this absolutely fire game we've been having so far. Halftime stats painted a picture. Is there any insight you want to give us to that short?
Yeah, a lot of the stats are very, very similar. Tackles, I was surprised that the Knights weren't up a bit more because of all the defensive work they had done. The completion rates is where it really sells. There's not many errors in the game, so it's one of those errors that could just end up being costly in this game.
Oh, and the possession was split. The Sharks had more of a possession, but in the end, it's still 6-all. And as we head deep into the second half.
And we've had our halftime subs come on with my main just went back. We've just had a 40-20. So as we've been stunned in the commentary box, the Knights have just kicked a 40-20 and got it onto the attacking foot here on this set.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just having some issues with my binoculars. Someone's throwing some bananas at the window right here as we have Butterfield being tackled into the 3rd as he's playing it. Sadler is just taking a hit up, settling the nerves on the 4th there, deep in the 10th. Achigulupi to Nanai to Richards, and Richards trying to muscle over, but turned onto his back. Take it out to the 10 for a final kick.
Butterfield's going to put a kick in, but it's going to go. Oh, I thought it was going to go straight over, but MBT's got it, and he's gone for a run.
Oh, and almost tackled over the sideline by Ponkston. Interestingly enough, that was ruled as a knock-on by the ref.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that probably did come off the boot, but may have been seen differently by the refs. As we see, Malchus take this ball and takes this hit up. He drives up to the 25.
And MBT muscled into the 20th on the 4th. Passing it over to Delaney, over to Tyre, and Tyre is playing it again on the 20th. So Sharks should be able to put an attacking kick here. We'll see if the Knights have any answer to what the Sharks have been doing. And not really. There was no real attacking pressure there.
And that was from the Sharks debutant and Jake Hitchens. That's probably not a kick he'd probably want over again. As I was saying before, the subs, we've had Bakagalipi and Jamanoli come on for the Knights, and Jack Anderson and the debutant Jake Hitchens for the Sharks.
So congratulations on your first game in the SRL, Hitchens. Hoping for a long career ahead. As the Knights almost butcher that, but Sadler picks it up and makes it to the 30. So that was a bit of luck there. Achigulupi to Diab, pushing through for some good meters, playing it on the 20th. Richards again, one hit up onto the 10th. Butterfield with a nice little cross bomb. And June grabs it, but can't really go anywhere else, and that's Sharks ball.
I think Thompson was standing there waiting for that tap back, but June just couldn't get the tap back.
No, it looks like we've got much of what the first half was like short. We've got two teams, one full of defence and one full of attack, and not really many errors, so we might have another low-scoring half on our affair.
Yeah, it was Malchus again making a great drive up the field. As Tyre has gone and thrown that. It looked like a throw, but it's been ruled a knock on.
And here we go with Knights with the first real good attacking set of the second half. A real opportunity to get across, break this deadlock as June takes it deep into the 20 just for the second. Playing it off to Butterfield. Passes it to Vaughan. Not 100% sure what happened there.
No, but again, another error, and the Knights have paid with good meters from Casascow up the field.
Casascow's been a workhouse so far at this game. He's made hundreds of meters so far for them, but there's Malchus again, carrying it over the halfway on to Hone King. Play it there on the 30th for the third. Hitchens on to Tyre to Casascow again. Sharks muscling their way up the field. Yep. Tyre on to Tua. And Tyre puts a sneaky little grubber in, and NBT is in. He's across. That was a cheeky little kick, and NBT was just in the right place in the right time.
And again, that's come from the error up the other end where the Knights have knocked the ball on. So errors are possibly going to be the killer when it comes to this game.
The first half was relatively error-free, but I guess the fitness, the stamina is wearing out already as we hit the 50th minute, and some of those big boys are starting to get a little bit tired. As Matthews should slot this over quite nicely. And the scoreline is now 12-6 Cronulla's way.
As soon as we see Vaughan line this kickoff off, yeah, we were talking about the big boys and Malchus and Casacao. Malchus was just shy of 100 metres at half time. So a real good solid effort from him in 40 minutes.
And he's still got 15 minutes to go, the big boy. So we'll see if he can, as we say that, he is absolutely rocked there. As Matthews passes it off to Tyre. And Ta'ua makes it almost to the 30th. Laney on to NBT. Again, doesn't really get much further over the 30th. So Knights, Ponkston must have put a rocket up them and told them to keep their tackles down and make sure we keep the Sharks in their half. Saying that, we'll see what the Sharks can do with this kick here. Delaney does an absolutely peach of a kick.
And that is a great kick from the Shark. Yeah, it was a 40-10. It was even further than the 20-metre line.
As we got Tua playing it on the first, off to Tyre. Tyre's pushing forward for some good post-contact meters. Matthews on to Casacao. Casacao pushing. And just short of the line. And I don't know what happened with that, but somehow Ponkston's come up with the ball. So a strong chance for the Sharks has just gone begging. Yeah, can't really say much else as Richards makes his way up the field.
Yeah, it looks like the lead runner may have got his line wrong and got in front of the pass.
And Nofalengawi goes around. All gooses and offloads, and at least for 35 meters from the try line. As we pass on to Diab, and Diab just takes a settler to settle the nerves. On the fifth tackle, we've got Butterfield with a little punt kick down to King, and King around, and where's Ponkston's gone? And Ponkston's chasing, and Ponkston's going to get there. Oh, King's almost there to the 10, and Ponkston, if it wasn't for Ponkston, King would have been away there. That was an absolutely beautiful run by Hone, as Casacao is muscled there by Nanai. Tyre across Tua and put onto his back just under the sticks.
Malchus is muscled back.
MBT passes Tyre onto Casacao again, pushing forward again. And has he made it? No, he's held out again. And Matthews, a bit of a nothing play. And if you were the Knights right now, you would be praying to whatever deity you had out there.
That is another strong defensive effort on their try line to keep him in this game. If the Sharks score there, I feel like this is over.
No, the Sharks threw everything they had at the Knights, and the Knights were like a castle, and they just held firm. As we got Ponkston working his way up the field, working his way and almost to the 40, playing it for the third.
Oh, they're named after the Steel City for a reason there, eh, Mark?
Oh, they sure are. Unfortunately, off into the touch just there. Nofalengawi almost got around.
Made some good handled meters though, so it's not like they turned it over too early.
No. Now the Sharks have to make their way 80 back down the field as they play it for their first on the 20.
Bit of a slow play the ball there.
Yep, playing a bit of a trick play to scare the Knights into going for the wrong person as Casacao works it to the 35. Matthews passes it to MBT, and MBT makes a nice little break. Offloads as well, off to Tua, but he's pushed back almost to the 50 for the fourth. Tua, MBT again, not much happening there. Knights, strong defense. As we go to a kick from the Sharks. All the way down to Rashford. And handled quite nicely. So again, apart from a bit of attacking brilliance, it's still 12-6 with 20 minutes to go.
Ponkston makes a nice line break there, gave him some really good meters.
Inside pass to Sadler. Played almost exactly where they had played before. Anderson passes it Stromandinoli. Stromandinoli makes some nice little meters to play it on the 30th for the 4th. At the end of this, the Knights should be in place for a nice attacking kick. So we'll see if they can do what the Sharks have been trying to and get another one over. Butterfield puts it high. It's hanging there. Lovely kick. Oh, except the chasers aren't able to get MBT back under the... Ooh, a little bit happened there, but the Sharks are fine, and they're playing it on their 10th. Embarrassing. Yeah.
No, it was a good kick chase. There was a bit of pressure there. They just couldn't drive him back into the in goal to get a set restart. Repeat set.
No. And now that the Sharks have got their props back on the field, their starting props, we've got Barisic back on. We got a bit more muscle. Hopefully they'll see a bit more budge of that scoreline as we kick early in the thing. And Noffa gets around one, but is wrapped up by the cover defense there. Achagalupi on the inside to Sadler, and Sadler works his way up. Achagalupi again passing out to Ponkston, and Ponkston dives through. But again, muscled back by MBT onto the 30th. There's a sense, I think, Short, that the Knights are slowly starting to win that arm wrestle. Would you agree?
It definitely seems like that. The Knights have been getting a bit more meters every set. They're muscling up in defense. They've been solid. So just got to keep this up and they'll get points, I reckon.
And that was a lovely kick, defensive read there. King came down with it, but the Knights were there to stop him as he plays it. And Barisic is forced to work his way just over the 10th to play it on his 2nd. Delaney, again, muscled back. 3rd tackle, and they're still within their 20. Pass it to Crimp, but Crimp can't do much of the same. So it looks like the Knights have just turned it up a gear, and they're focusing on Wakabayashi. Yeah, he is kind of probably wishing he was back in the mines just now, as Rashford takes it on his 50 and works it all the way back up to the 30. So I'm willing to bet that the Knights have definitely started winning this arm wrestle.
Yeah, they need to score points here. They've got this advantage upfield. So that, as we said, that Butterfield is going to drive over and he's going to score this try.
Oh, that was a bit of magic brilliance there from Butterfield. A lovely offload. He was tackled, dummied, kept going, fell over. Oh, that was absolutely phenomenal. And we should, pending, curse not happening, we should be all locked up here, 12 all.
Yeah, it was a bit of a weird little dummy pass. There was no one really in front of him, but yeah, he's driven over for that try, which they really needed, especially with all that defensive work they've done to keep him in that half, and they've really mustered on those tackles. So it's to get those points is exactly what that's the reward from all that defensive work.
Vaughan shanks it too far right, and unfortunately, the Knights will still be trailing by 2. With 13 minutes left in the half to go. Now, if you were Sonny Tyre, what are you saying to the Sharks right now, Short?
I feel like that he's going to keep it nice and simple. They've let that try in, but it's taken a while, so they've got to just make sure they keep completing their sets. They won't want too much. If they can get some points, they can get some points. But if they can defend this 2-point lead, there's not much left in the game.
And unfortunately now, Malchus is probably having a nice, well-earned rest. So their big muscle man of 13 is not on the field anymore for them. As we've got Christie taking a nice, strong run. Probably play it just short of the 40 for this fourth. As the Knights go into attack mode, Butterfield boots it downfield. Just doesn't have the angle for a 40-20 there, and MBT brings it back to be met and tackled on the 25. Ua off to Barisic, and Barisic carries it over the 30. Delaney on to Usher. Tries to do a little step around, but no, doesn't get very much further. Matthews on to Tua, and he takes it over. So probably not going to have a 40-20, he says. No, Barisic decides he doesn't have the boot on him. He should probably take it forward. He doesn't want to have Tyre take his kicking license off him. So a nice, sensible set there from the Sharks. As I say that, Rashford dukes, and he's off, and he's around, and he's heading off. They're in pursuit, but he's not going to make it, and Rashford scores directly under the dots right there.
And to put the icing on that cake, I believe that might have been Tyre just chasing him and couldn't get to him. So that's just going to be one of those ones that he's going to have to live down if this is the final score.
Tyre will be rotten with him, but when Rashford gets into open space like that, he is almost as impossible to stop as Ponkston is. As Vaughan lines up to make it a 4-point lead with just under 10 minutes to go. Now, within the space of about 5 minutes, the Sharks have gone from leading to being behind, and hopefully the nerves don't set in and they can just calm it a bit and bring it back, because it is only 4 points. It's an unconverted try. Plenty of time left in the half to get this done.
Yeah, and I was talking about keeping it simple, not making sort of errors or anything. Kicking to Rashford may have been their error.
Well, it's hard with the Knights, because you either have to kick it to Rashford, or you have to kick it to Dom, or you have to kick it all the way over to the other side and kick it to Nofalengawi. So it's not really... If I was them, I'd just be grabbing it and diving down and going, no kicking. As we got Batchagalupi playing it on the 30th and giving it to Christie. So the Sharks have realised that the only way they're going to get out of this now is with some defence, and they've tried to do what they can to keep the Knights buried. As Vaughan shanks that kick, and Hone King brings it back to play it almost exactly where Vaughan kicked it, which is not how the Knights would have wanted this set to start.
No, they're going to have to muscle up in defence here to make sure that the Sharks can't get those points back. As
Hitchens, our debutant, makes it up to the 20th. Plays it for the 3rd. Kasakawa across to Wakabayashi. But he's met with a staunch defence, and he's kept on the 20th. High over to NBT, passes it on to Delaney, and Delaney almost wakes his way through, plays it just over, and we've got the Sharks ready for an attacking kick. Malchus still on the field, picked up by Ponkston and muscled back, and they are going to have to boot their way out of trouble, and the Sharks will get another repeat set.
Yeah, they're going to have to test their gold line defence here really harsh. It's been solid all game, but this is where the fatigue's really going to be heavy on the players and not going to be wanting to make these tackles, but they're going to have to dig deep just for these final minutes.
Yeah, the Sharks have this set and maybe one other set to score, so if the Knights can hold on, they could chalk up their 2nd win in a row for the season. As we have Barisic playing it on the 30th. Passing it out to Delaney. To Tyre, who's met again. Pushes forward to the 20th, plays it for the 4th. Malchus a bit flat-footed, but he pushes through, And you can almost see the exhaustion in that man as he was trying to run to the line there, couldn't you, Luke?
Yeah, I thought he was over there, but he just doesn't have the legs at this point in the game. He's a big bloke, so he's got it takes a lot of energy to bring down.
Yep, and Nofalengawi took that attack quite comfortably as we have our 7 tackle set. It's Nanai's working his way over the 20. Bachagalupi off to Ponkston as Ponkston makes his way through, and they'll be playing it just short of the 50 for their first tackle. So you'd think that if the Knights can get down to the end of this set and score again, or not even score, just keep the Sharks deep in their half, that might be game.
As you said, Christie makes a nice line break.
Ponkston and the Knights aren't happy with just massaging the victory through. They want one more. Offload after offload to Ponkston, and Ponkston is forced to play it there for the 4th.
Yeah, because the Knights, if they get the try here, they know it's the nail in the coffin, so they're going to try everything they can to get it.
And you'd like to think that if not well, and
as we say that, we do have to go up to the box.
I'm speechless. I don't know quite what I've watched.
But
that
is a try to John Nanai to win the game.
It was unconventional. It was messy. It didn't really have the finesse that we saw earlier. But that's a try. And with that, the Knights have sealed it.
And as you see, that try has stunned us in the box. AMAC is speechless. He doesn't know what to think. I feel like that's one of those tries that needed to be, this is a game that the Knights needed to win. It's one of those grubby, dirty, wins, but you've got to dig deep. These wins are the ones that get you in the finals.
Yeah, I mean, any coach will tell you, it doesn't matter how the 2 points get there, as long as they get there, whether it's beautiful, whether it's ugly, whether you got a bribe Will K, you just got to do what you got to do to get those 2 points. You got less than a minute left to go, and unless the Sharks can somehow score 2 tries in 40 minutes, that's it. The Knights will be second and working their way to the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, they've gone long there to try and force an error, but I don't know if that was the right choice. Maybe going short for one of their wingers.
And Christie works his way up to the 50 and then takes a lovely little tackle, and then the Knights are done. They're in. Unfortunately, the Sharks have come away from this with a loss, but at halftime, both sides were as equal as you can get. And I don't think the scoreline really shows you how close this game actually was.
No, the full-time scoreline, you can think, all right, the Knights had this game, but no, it was anyone's game up to that final 5 minutes.
Yeah, and I think the stats we're about to look at will show us that in time and possession, it was almost exactly the same. Knights 49, Sharks 51. Completion's about the same as well. 20 out of 24 for the Knights, 21 out of 24 for the Sharks. It's really the errors which are more weighted for the Knights. Passing my iron down there, we've almost got same stats for stats, except for a couple of things like line breaks and errors and things like that.
Yeah, a couple more line breaks for the Sharks. But missed tackles are the same. Your tackles are the same. It was a really strong defensive game for the majority of the game, and that fatigue is what separated this in the last 5 minutes of the game, I feel.
Yeah, and a bit of crazy luck there from that final Nanai try. As we move into there's Ponkston up the top there with 200 running meters, 7 line breaks, a try for himself, leading from the front as Ponkston always does. There's not much else to say except to heap praise upon the man.
Yeah, Ponkston really doing a captain's knock there, doing almost everything he can on the field. We do have a lot of other people that really contributed to this. Rashford, 153 meters. Dustin Richards, 144 metres. And of course, John Nanai. Mm-hmm.
Yep, and as we said at half-time, Butterfield, 321 kicking metres. Really used his boot to get the Knights out of trouble there. Even the blokes down the bottom who don't really have as many running metres still have a fairly good solid effort for tackles, good solid effort for passing. Although, no, I was looking at the wrong thing there. Anything else that you want to comment on from the Knights there, Luke?
Rusty Shackelford, I know he didn't spend a lot of time on the field. He did make 41 metres, so that's not a solid effort. That's a pretty solid effort. But what's interesting is he didn't need to make any tackles, so they didn't run at him, which might have been where the Sharks really needed to do that. They might have needed to run at Shackelford, being a newer player. He may have, that might have been a way to get around him.
As we look over for the Sharks in a second. And no surprise that NBT is topping out the list there for run meters. 224 with 22 tackles, and again a try to his name. So trying as hard as he could to match Dom Pongston there. We got Tyre, 178 meters. Kausakau, 153. Again, muchness, lots and lots of meters run, but unfortunately, coming up trumps at the end of the day.
Yeah, pretty solid effort from both fullbacks. As you would expect, MBT and Pongston are both fantastic fullbacks in the SRL. 22 tackles for MBT that's a lot of tackles for a fullback. That's probably where a lot of those line breaks come from. As we see, Malchus, 142 meters.
27 tackles. 3 tackle breaks, 3 line breaks, 2 kicks of his own, a try of his own.
He was just an absolute monster in the middle of the field for him.
And showing all us big boys exactly what you have to do to get your team close to the win there.
Yeah.
Well, I've been Anthony McDonald.
And I've been Luke Shaw.
And unfortunately for the Sharks, they've lost, but the Knights will be off and cheering as we sign off here from Carrington Park. Good night.